On my lesson for interactive with the kids, I did it on time. I incorporated a book with that for a literature lesson. Also incorporating that for the integrated across. We also used clocks, which at the end was very good to incorporate. I found the technology with I used the Go Noodle, which we had some colder weather, so it was a good interaction for them. They do the math activity, and then they get to do like a running exercise or Zumba or something like that. It is not really what unit we were on yet, but it's a unit that's approaching us, so it kind of gave me an understanding of where my students would have trouble with and what areas we needed to focus on before we started the unit on time. I think clocks are kind of a difficult thing for younger kids to grasp the concept of, but also understanding different things. Recognizing skip pattern counting by fives or skip counting by twos on reading a clock are also good. I think you can build on this lesson a little more, and I did that through my Daily 5 math. I created a clock station, and each kid, it was with the Candyland, it had a time, and the kid had to show the time on the clock, and then they flipped over their Candyland card, and they could move to that color. If they didn't get it right, then they had to, they weren't able to move to their color for Candyland. I think trying to make sure you get enough student interaction time during the teaching process, sometimes as a first year teacher, can be hard because you want to make sure you cover the material in depth for the students and you worry about not getting enough of that time. I do know I feel like that sometimes, but then also I think when kids are learning in cooperative learning groups and the teacher sits back to observe, you can learn a lot from that. I think sometimes it makes it a little harder to accept and want to correct them all the time, but sometimes I think when they learn from their mistakes, also it teaches them, or they're learning a new strategy from their peer groups, is also a good thing. I think with that teacher interaction too, it also has me gain knowledge on what I need to work on with each student. I'll keep doing the Daily 5 math, but I'll also make sure that I take time to sit back and observe my students and to look at different things. I also found it very interesting to go ahead and do a new activity with the kids to see where I need to be. So I think it'll be a positive either way. I mean, I think there's a lot of things to improve on in my teaching strategies, and over the years I'll learn. But as a first year teacher, I have learned that I do like the cooperative learning groups for each of my students, plus that one-on-one teacher time, and then the whole class instruction. So in all, I really am looking forward to continuing with that same pattern of learning. And our My Math curriculum does a nice job of the I do, we do, you do, and I find that very helpful when teaching a math lesson.